Hello, my dear students. I'm Shweta Gupta, your general knowledge teacher. I hope you all are safe and sound. I also believe that you all are sincerely watching your video lessons and doing all your assignments religiously. Well, today we will study a very interesting topic that is all about Nobel Prize. It is given on page 18 and 19 of your general knowledge book, Startup GK. So, let's get started. Before learning about Nobel Prize, first let us understand what do we mean by prize. Well, a prize is a thing given as a reward to the winner of a competition or in recognition of an outstanding achievement. In India, Bharat Ratna is the highest civilian award and Ashok Chakra is the highest gallantry award. But do you know which is the most prestigious award in the world? Can you guess? Yes, it is the Nobel Prize. So let's learn about it. So, first of all, the question arises in our mind, what is the Nobel Prize? Well, it is the most prestigious award in the world. It is a set of annual international awards awarded to people and organizations for outstanding contribution to mankind in their respective field. Well, let's understand the meaning. When we say it is a set of annual international award, what do we mean by this? It means that it is not a single award, but it is a set of awards. And by annual, we mean that it is given every year. And by international awards, we mean that it is given to people of not any specific country. Rather, it is given to people who belongs to any part of the world. And what do we mean by for outstanding contribution to mankind in their respective field? Well, this means that this prize is given to those people and to those organizations who have done some remarkable work that has benefited the whole humanity. Well, I hope you have understood what is the Nobel Prize. Now, the next question that comes in our mind is, who started this tradition of annual awards? Well, this tradition of annual awards was started by Alfred Nobel, who was a chemist, engineer, inventor, and entrepreneur. He was devoted to the study of explosives, and his inventions include a blasting cap, dynamite, and smokeless gunpowder. So, can you see the picture of Alfred Nobel? Well, yes, this is the picture of Sir Alfred Nobel, who started this tradition of annual awards. He wrote in his will that his vast fortune was to be used to create annual prizes for those who give the greatest benefit to mankind. Today, the Nobel Committee set up by Alfred Nobel administers these awards. And you know, children, one of his invention, that is dynamite. And from this invention of dynamite, Alfred Nobel made a vast fortune. And later he used this vast fortune to create these annual prizes, right? And one more thing about Alfred Nobel, that he was a multi-talented person because he was not only a chemist, but he was an engineer, inventor, and entrepreneur. So, the next question that comes in our mind is, what is the prize? Or, what kind of prize is the Nobel Prize? Well, the Nobel Prize is a gold medal, a diploma, and a sum of money decided by the Nobel Foundation. So we can say that Nobel Prize includes three things: a gold medal, a diploma, and a large sum of money. Now, when it is awarded? Well, it is awarded every year on 10th of December, the day when Alfred Nobel died. Now, let us learn about the categories for a Nobel Prize award. The Nobel Prize is awarded in the following 6 areas. So, what are these 6 areas? Let us see. The categories or areas in which the Nobel Prize is awarded are: the first one is physics, the second one is chemistry, the third one is physiology or medicine, the fourth one is literature, the fifth one is economics, the sixth and the last one is peace. So, these are the 6 categories or areas in which the Nobel Prize is awarded. The Nobel Prizes in chemistry, literature, peace, physics, and physiology or medicine were awarded since 1901. But the Nobel Prize for Economics was added in 1968. Now, let us learn about the selection and awarding process of Nobel Prize. This process includes 6 steps. So, let us study each step one by one. The first step is the request nomination. In September, the Nobel Committee prepares to receive nominations in different fields. The second step is receive nominations. The committee receives nominations from qualified nominators. In step 3, which is evaluate and shortlist. So, in this step, with the help of experts, the nominations are shortlisted. In step 4, the review process. This step includes exchange of reports and recommendations with the Swedish Academy. Step 5, which is the final selection. In October, the laureates are chosen through majority votes by the committee members. Step 6, which is the last step and which is the awards. That is, the Nobel laureates receive their awards at a ceremony that takes place at Stockholm on December 10 every year. So this way, selection and awarding process includes 6 steps. Now student, you have learned what is the Nobel Prize, who started this tradition of giving the Nobel Prize, what are the categories in which the Nobel Prize is awarded, and the 6 steps in the selection and awarding process of the Nobel Prize. So now let us learn about Nobel Prize winners of India. Now students, look at these pictures. These are the Nobel Prize winners of India. The first picture is of Rabindranath Tagore. He was the first Indian to receive Nobel Prize. He received the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1930 and he received the Nobel Prize for his book Gitanjali, which is a very famous book. The second Indian is C.V. Raman. He was a famous scientist. He received the Nobel Prize for Physics in the year 1930. The third one is Hargobind Khurana. He received the Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine in 1968. The fourth one is Mother Teresa. And I hope you all know who is Mother Teresa. She received the Nobel Prize for Peace in the year 1979. The fifth one is Subramanian Chandrasekhar. Children, do you know Subramanian Chandrasekhar was the niece of C.V. Raman and he received the Nobel Prize for Physics in the year 1983. Then Amartya Sen. He received the Nobel Prize for Economic Sciences in the year 1998. Then Venkatraman Ramakrishnan. He received the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in the year 2009. Then the next picture is of Kailash Satyarthi. He received the Nobel Prize for Peace in the year 2014. And children, do you know he received this Nobel Prize for Peace along with Malala Yousafzai of Pakistan. And the latest Indian to receive the Nobel Prize is Abhijit Banerjee. He also received the Nobel Prize for Economic Sciences like Amartya Sen in the year 2019. So, these are the Indians who received the Nobel Prize. So, students, I hope you have learned all the facts about the Nobel Prize. So now, let us do the following assignments related to the given topic of the Nobel Prize in your notebook. The first one is answer these simple questions to know more about the Nobel Prize. The first one is, how many Nobel Prizes are currently awarded each year? Children, I hope you know the answer of this question. Yes, you guessed right. The answer is 6. We know that Nobel Prizes are currently awarded in 6 categories. So, how many Nobel Prizes are currently awarded each year? 6 prizes. So, the answer is 6. The second one, when the Nobel Prize was established in 1901, there were only 5 awards. Which award was added in 1968? Well, you all must have guessed the answer. Yes, the answer is economics. Third one, name the country where the Nobel Prizes are awarded and also where Alfred Nobel was born. So, what is the answer? Yes, the answer is Sweden. Fourth, from what invention did Alfred Nobel make his fortune? Children, do you remember? Yes, it was the invention of dynamite. So, the answer is dynamite. Fifth, name the youngest recipient of the Nobel Prize till date. Children, why I was telling you about the Nobel Prize winner of India, I told you about Kailash Satyarthi, who received the Nobel Prize for Peace in the year 2014. And I also told you that he received this prize along with another person, that is Malala Yousafzai, and she is from Pakistan and she also got the Nobel Prize for Peace in the same year, right? And she is the youngest recipient of the Nobel Prize. So the answer is Malala Yousafzai. Sixth one, name the women scientist who was awarded the Nobel Prize for both physics and chemistry. Well, here the answer is Marie Curie. She was the first woman and the only woman scientist who was awarded the Nobel Prize 2 times. First for physics and the second for chemistry. The seventh one is, name the first Indian to be awarded the Nobel Prize for Economics. Yes, it is Amartya Sen. Question number 8. Name the British Prime Minister who won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1953. The answer is Winston Churchill. Children, here we have discussed the question and the answers. Now you are aware of the answers and you will get the answers in the written form in your WhatsApp assignment. Now the second question is, can you identify these Nobel laureates? In this question, pictures of some famous Nobel laureates are given and you have to identify their names, and their names is given in the box below. So let's get started. Can you see the first picture? Below this picture, it is written physics and chemistry. So this Nobel laureate has got Nobel Prize for physics and chemistry. And do you know what is her name? Well, her name is Marie Curie. She was the first woman to receive Nobel Prize and the first person to win two Nobel Prizes, one for physics in 1903 and the other for chemistry in 1911. Now come to the second picture. This picture is of Kofi Annan. He was the Secretary General of the United Nations and he received the Nobel Prize for Peace in 2001. Now let's come to the third picture. I hope you all are familiar with this person. Well, he is Barack Obama, who was the 44th President of United States of America, and he was a very famous president. He received the Nobel Prize for Peace in the year 2009. Now, the next picture is of the famous author Rudyard Kipling. He is best known for his book, The Jungle Book. I hope you all are familiar with this book and the famous character of this book called Mowgli. Children, do you know Rudyard Kipling was the youngest person to get the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1907. Now, let's come to the next picture. This picture is of the famous Indian scientist C.V. Raman. He was the first Asian to receive the Nobel Prize for Physics in the year 1930. Now children, see the next picture. The name of this Nobel laureate is Aung San Suu Kyi. She is from Myanmar. She received the Nobel Prize for Peace in the year 1991. Now, the next picture is of another famous author. His name is V.S. Naipaul. He received the Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 2001. Now, see the last picture. I hope you are familiar with this person. Her name is Malala Yousafzai. She is from Pakistan. She is the youngest recipient of the Nobel Prize. She was 17 years old when she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014. One more fact about her is that she received the Nobel Prize for Peace along with Kailash Satyarthi from India. So now children, your both the assignments are completed and you are supposed to do these assignments in your notebook. And I hope you have understood and learned all the facts about the Nobel Prize. Now, let's see what is your home assignment. There are two questions in your home assignment. The first one is, write the name of any 10 Nobel laureates. The second question is, Name any 4 persons who won the Nobel Prize for Peace. In this way, we have completed this topic on the Nobel Prize. I hope you all have learned all the facts about the Nobel Prize. Thank you, students. Stay home, stay safe.